How tiring is life at 27 years old? Part 1. Recently, I happened to meet a middle school friend, so I made an appointment to eat. Like every class reunion would pretend to care about someone's recent situation, I asked him why so many years have passed. But still haven't made any big money, not married yet. But to my surprise, he didn't answer. As usual, even if he has no achievements, when asked like that, people will brag and gossip so as not to lose face in front of others, but this guy just bow and fiddle with your hands. Because we also went to high school together, I roughly know that his family's economic condition is not good, his parents are divorced, he doesn't care, he can do whatever he wants. While studying 12th grade, his achievement ranked at more than 400, the 12th grade at that time had about 500 people. After finishing the university entrance exam, he heard that he stayed in his hometown to study a vocational school. We haven't contacted each other for a long time, but he was so silent that I was a bit confused. When I was about to change the subject, he raised his head and told his story. The years. He studied auto repair in vocational school, but just because it was a hot industry at the time, he really knew he wasn't the right fit for the industry, but missed the chance to switch majors, so he kept trying. Study and graduate. The first year after graduating, he heard people say that sales can make a lot of money, so he got a job as a real estate agent in our hometown. Everyone assumed the sales job was very difficult at first, but he thought he could handle it, so he followed the manager of the apprenticeship branch for a while to get used to the rental process, and worked with his colleagues. Order. He and his colleagues received the first 2 orders, followed what the manager said and contacted the owner. Whether the weather was rainy or sunny, he tried to bring customers to the place to see the house. Sometimes it rained heavily. Call a car on behalf of the customer. The first month, he was also quite satisfied with this job. But at the end of the month, his coworker made an order without him, but still announced the names of 2 people. His commission percentage is much less. He was still on probation. That month's salary was only 1,200 yuan. At the end of the month he had to leave school, so he couldn't even pay the rent for the room. Moreover, in his sophomore year of university, his parents told him that after graduation, they would no longer support him, so he decided to leave his family relationship and work alone. Brush. Working as a real estate agent for less than 3 months, the salary was not enough to support himself, but also owed a lot of loans, so he decided to change jobs. His parents had a sign that after graduation, they would no longer support him, so he decided to leave his family relationship and fend for himself. Working as a real estate agent for less than 3 months, the salary was not enough to support himself, but also owed a lot of loans, so he decided to change jobs. His parents had a sign that after graduation, they would no longer support him, so he decided to leave his family relationship and fend for himself. Working as a real estate agent for less than 3 months, the salary was not enough to support himself, but also owed a lot of loans, so he decided to change jobs. The second job is a waiter at KTV, karaoke TV, although he has to work at night and regularly clean up the vomit caused by drunk guests, but thanks to this part of the job, his personality is a bit clean. He disappeared. The income of this job is barely enough to pay for and pay the house. The loans are also paid periodically. Life is just temporary. At work, he met a girl. She worked in the winery at the warehouse. The 2 were married for a long time, so they were together. He doesn't doubt her, wants to be nice to her, hopes to change jobs together in the future. But she took advantage of his feelings, scammed 8,000 savings, so his 2 years working at KTV was considered a waste. Because of the rent and loan, he immediately went to work as a waiter in a 4-star hotel in the city center. Every day he had to change the bed sheets and clean a whole floor. Although he was tired, he must accept. He always believes that everything will turn out fine. With an all-inclusive hotel, no need to pay rent, can save more. When working, he is used to the room littered with BCS, fast food, scrubbing toilets uncountably, changing thousands of bed sheets. But he does not think that he has any difficulties, calmly doing everything from one job to another just to have a better life later. He can finally buy a touch phone because everyone uses Weixin. 3 years every day at exactly 9 o'clock to start work. One day his grandmother called him, told that his father had a brain hemorrhage that needed immediate surgery, heard that he immediately took leave and ran to the hospital. When he got there, he saw his father lying on a hospital bed after surgery, immediately gave his grandmother all 40,000 yuan of his savings, and returned to the hotel. During that time, his grandmother often called him to inform him of his father's condition, and when he heard that his condition had improved, he was relieved. Reading this far, everyone must think that from the beginning everything is his own choice, he has to bear the consequences. But this is definitely not something that the average guy needs to go through, although men should have their own goals and must strive to achieve them. But we have forgotten that. He also hopes to change his life now, but money pressure and sudden things happen out of control. He also wants to try, also wants to make money, but time waits for no one. The day I met him, he had just resigned from his job at the hotel, intending to return to sales, as if to make up for the wasted time. I really wanted to say that I could help him by getting recommendations from friends, but he turned away before I could say anything. I thought, I guess I haven't been friends with him in years, so only when I meet you will I be able to talk about these things. Another year has passed. I texted Happy New Year. After saying thank you, I asked how the year was going. He just sighed, his voice sounded like he was about to cry, said that he went to a securities company to do telesales. Because he didn't understand, he would sit down and learn more knowledge about this industry after finishing work, but when he finished his studies, he can take on the job. The company immediately declared bankruptcy. He felt really helpless. Being fired the day before, it was his 27th birthday the next day. His old classmates soon bought a house, bought a car and got married, and he was still alone. I was alone during Tet. Remember this, friend. I could feel the weakness and helplessness deep inside through the messages on the screen, not knowing how to respond. Although he hasn't really gone through hell, what difference is his life with hell?